So the other day, my husband Will and we went on this double dinner date with another couple friend of ours, and we're all sitting down and we're having dinner. By the way, they all had like very adult meals and I had the kids' chicken nuggets. And anyways, we got to talking about because we're all very successful entrepreneurs, all four of us in our own right. And we got to talking about what keeps people from being successful and what keeps people broke. And it was a very interesting conversation. And I think there's a lot of reasons, but it ended up being a very, very fruitful conversation. And I thought I would share it with you. And so, by the way, I highly recommend just doing that and going out on these very cool dinner dates. We've been doing a lot of double dates. It fills your soul, like going in person and hanging out with people who are like-minded and have similar views. It's awesome. So I highly recommend it. But we talked about some of the habits. I think there's a lot that goes into people being successful and not successful. But we did talk about some things we noticed, habits that successful people have or habits that people who aren't successful have. So the first habit that will keep you broke, keep you poor, is being inconsistent. And we talked about this and we said, hands down, as an entrepreneur, inconsistency is the number one thing that will keep you from being successful. I wrote down that will keep your business from growing. We talked about how, if you aren't treating your business like a real business, it's just an expensive hobby. And that's a bit of a hard truth, but it is the reality. You need to have set, non-negotiable business hours of operation each week, even if it's just for you, like a real business would. I always like to use one of my students, Kim. She had lots of boys, a full-time job, every reason in the world, and no time in her day, it felt like, to work on our business. But Kim's hour of operations were 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that's when Kim worked on her business every single day. Soon enough, she was able to quit her job, and now she makes, last time I checked on her, she was making like 3 times her corporate salary. What I've learned and what I've noticed is not only does, consistency build trust with your potential buyers, the people in your audience, et cetera, but it also builds trust for you as the entrepreneur. You trust yourself and you gain confidence when you're consistent. And it's just a really cool experience for you to have. I think it's an important experience for you to have. You trust yourself and you trust your word to yourself, and your word to yourself actually starts meaning something. First habit, you got to start being consistent. You've got to break that habit of inconsistency. It's a habit you currently have right now. Second thing is not dealing with the mental side of running a business. It could be not actively working on cultivating an abundance mindset. It could be not learning to ride the highs and lows of entrepreneurship with detachment. A lot of you don't have detachment. Third thing, it could be having that patience and that long-term vision. And so I wrote down that running a business is basically a mental game. It's a mental game 24/7. And so what I have learned and what we talked about as I was sitting there eating my chicken nuggets is we talked about how new entrepreneurs are just simply not prepared for the mind games. They're just not. The self-doubt, the lack of confidence. And if you feel like you're, sort of stuck in the mental side of things, the mental games, and you're doubting yourself and you don't have a lot of confidence, I highly recommend that you read the book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. So I read this book pretty much day one as an entrepreneur. I just accidentally stumbled on it. And I think I avoided a lot of mental pitfalls because I read this book and because I implemented what this book taught me. So I highly recommend you read The Big Leap and just start getting into a habit of choosing to fight the mental games, choosing to positivity, choosing gratitude. Third habit that's keeping you broke is you might be spending too much time comparing yourself to others. And I should know, I did this for a very long time. Just don't. I know it sounds silly, but as somebody that struggled with this for a really long time, just stop. It all comes down to a decision to stop comparing yourself to others. Stop comparing your progress to others. Your journey is what it is, with unique challenges and unique strengths. In my opinion, having learned, there was the biggest waste of energy for me. I just wasted so much time and so much energy and so much mental happiness comparing myself to others. I would compare my behind the scenes to somebody else's online highlight reel. And so I stopped consuming other people's content a long time ago. I don't read other people's content at all. Fourth habit that will sabotage the living crap out of you and make you very stuck is to giving into your shiny object syndrome. So check this screenshot out. I'm going to put it on the screen here. And I want you to notice how your shiny object syndrome is sabotaging you. It's keeping you from building traction. So do you see how, if you look at the screenshot here on the screen with me, you see how the person who stays focused builds traction all over time, right? She's focused on one thing and she's building traction over time versus the lack of traction when you're starting and stopping and starting and stopping, you never progress. So if you are struggling with staying focused, you should go watch my video on the 5 1s. So the 5 1s is one of the big reasons why I hit $1 million. Highly recommend it. The grass is not greener on the other side. Stop walking in circles. I also threw in a bonus habit because I was feeling kind of, I don't know, like not on a rant, but I was feeling like this is important. So you got a bonus hack to stop doing. Like you've got to do the work. That's the bonus thing, is you've got to do the work. When I was scripting, I think I felt like really like on fire about this one. So like all in caps on my script here, it's like, do not get me started on this one. My friends and I, because we talked about this for a while, we talked about how, like for me, for example, I intellectually understood what I needed to do as an entrepreneur for 2 years before I took any action on it. You cannot be an armchair entrepreneur and expect to make money. I read about making money online blogging, right? So back in the day, I read about making money blogging for 2 years before I took any action on it at all. From 2011 to 2013, I was reading blogs like Copy Blogger, Derek Halpern, who I'm friends with now. And I sat on the sidelines for 2 years. And guess how much money I made learning about entrepreneurship? $0. It wasn't until I started doing the work that I made money. You can't just read or watch videos about how to make money online. You have to go do the work. And so many people avoid the hard work. They avoid the grind. I saw this quote today, and I usually don't like quotes because I think quotes are cheesy. But I'm actually I want to put this on the screen as well. It's by Ed Milet. I don't know anything about him. I'm just going to a conference he's putting on in in 2 weeks, I think it is, maybe even less. He basically says, you can't cheat the grind. And it sounds like it's a cheesy quote, and it is kind of cheesy, but there's an element of truth to that, which is you can't shortcut the process. You have to be willing to roll up your sleeves and do that foundational work. And that foundational work is like eating shit burgers for 2 years. Like you just have to do a lot of hard work for very little return for a couple years. And that's just, I don't know any successful entrepreneur that hasn't done that. If you want acceleration on this, if you want support on this, if you want a coach on this, what you should do is check out my Get Clients Now program. It's this community where I literally coach you and show you what to do to build a successful business online. And our goal is basically in the Get Clients Now program, we want to get you up to 5K months. And then when you hit 5K months, you can qualify to join our 100K mastermind. So if you want to check out the Get Clients Now program, if you want to learn what it could look like for me to be your coach and show you what to do to make money online, you can go to mariawendt.com/program or click the link in the description. I'll tell you, the focus is going to be on rolling up your sleeves and making money. I'm going to literally show you the work that you need to do in order to get a client, because I just believe that's what's actually going to make you the money. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. It actually really helps. The videos that get more likes tend to do better, and I put a ton of work into these YouTube videos. So hit that like button. If you want to throw me a bone, I will take it. Be sure to subscribe. We do 3 videos every single week teaching you how to make money online, how to grow your business. I'll see you in the next one.